The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's Platinum webinar with your host, Todd Walters.
Thank you, Andrea. Welcome, everyone. Looking forward to today's program. I got to tell you, it's going to be a good one. Now, as most of you already know, as Platinum Coach, I've had the good fortune over the last, really since 2003, being amongst, hanging out with, interviewing, quizzing some of the top real estate agents on the planet. And I made it a point to have as many conversations as possible, both in a business setting and in casual settings, with as many seven-figure income agents as I can get my hands on. It's been so beneficial to me personally on so many levels, both in business and in my personal life. And I got to tell you that to be around people that have seven-figure income real estate businesses and seeing how they balance their life and get so much out of it, what they give back to people as well. I mean, that's all, part of hanging out with those kinds of people. You do that to learn from them, and maybe you can copy some elements of their life, outside of real estate. So I've benefited tremendously. It's been such a big deal that a few years ago I started a call every month for Platinum members where I would cherry pick one of our Platinum program members that was doing pretty well, seven-figure income business of some kind, and invite them, onto a call so that I could sit and chit-chat with them a little bit and have the same kind of conversation I would have if it weren't a program or a recorded call or a live webinar or whatever it is. So those have been very beneficial. I call it like eavesdropping on, a millionaire agent consult. So today, I asked Sarah Reynolds, a Platinum member out of Chantilly and Albee, just about 45 minutes outside of D.C., to join me on today's program to do just that, chit-chat about her business. And what's really fascinating about Sarah is that she's done a little over $1 million here over the last 12 months, but she's gone and had a baby. She's a new mom. She's got all these other things going, but yet still managed to pull down that kind of level of business. It's pretty impressive. Obviously somebody that we should pay very close attention to and learn from. So with that, I'm going to get Sarah here going. Sarah, you there?
Yep.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, now how long ago did you have your new baby?
She is 6.5 months old, so
Okay.
in March of 2013 this
So
year.
it's pretty amazing, because I'm guessing that leading right up to it, and then right after you have the baby, for some period of time, that it was really difficult for you to even focus on selling houses, let alone make any calls and do much business.
Yeah, I took 6 full weeks totally off, and then also obviously not working as hard beforehand, and then after the 6 weeks because of schedule, and then not feeling the best towards the end of the pregnancy.
Wow. Well, first of all, congratulations on becoming a new mom. That's absolutely fantastic. But on top of that, you did manage to do over 100 transactions or so over the last 12 months and make over $1 million selling real estate. So give us some insight into how you're able to pull that off and balance all of that with your real estate business, both on the personal side and on the business side, because that's a lot of business to be able to manage and handle and still have a little one. How'd you do it?
Systems, so what Craig and you have taught me, and so having good marketing systems in place to where things run smoothly every month, the same things happen, as well as having really good leverage. So hiring our main office manager, who is extremely talented. She's actually now on maternity leave herself, but just having someone in place to help us with details so we're not being bogged down with those things. And then obviously the biggest, I would say, game changer that it helped is having the ISA.
All right, so specifically, what's your ISA's responsibilities?
He follows up with all of new leads that come in using the universal callback script, understanding their timing and motivation, and then setting appointments for me and our agents.
All right, so I just threw a picture up of yourself and your mom there. You guys are together. I know that she works with you. What's your mom's role in your real estate business?
She, well, she's been in the business 25 years, so she had a database before I joined her 7 years ago. And so she's still working working listings as an agent, as well as she does some, like, I'm the main team leader and manager of it, but she does helps with, like, payroll and things like that.
All right, so it looks then you've got some pretty good people around you, and that's why you're able to go out, have a baby, become a new mom, take some time off, and do all that, and still have a thriving real estate business to boot. Would that be a?
I could not. My mom she totally covered for me, and she had become a first-time grandma, so she totally covered for me to where I could take the time off, and I could not have done that without her and then the rest of my team.
You know, that's a great point, and that's a golden nugget for everybody paying attention today. And it's a real commonality among our most successful members. Just this past week, I had about half of the Titanium members into Atlanta. And we're sitting around the table there. And, you know, while we're going through each member's business, and to myself, I'm just listening to what it is they're saying and the way they communicate. And every one of them, the real commonality among them is that they've got people within their business that they really, really leverage and lean on, that perform at very high levels. So, and they seem to be kind of a magnet for that kind of thing. Maybe a family member, maybe it's a spouse, or at the very least, it is some kind of key man or key woman that make up the bulk of that leverage. So I want everybody to kind of understand that at some point in your real estate career, the sooner the better, you're going to reach out and you're going to look for and you're going to find people to really, really leverage. And the better they are, the more that you can lean on them and do that, the faster and fatter your business goes. Now, one thing I noticed too, Sarah, among several of our members since I've been doing this back in 2003, Platinum Coach, is that there are a lot of members that are really nervous about delegating. They hire people, but they really don't empower them. They don't give them a chance to fail or screw things up. They're always micromanaging stuff. Now, I understand with your mom, it just become natural that you felt like you could trust her. You know, you could throw stuff at her, give her stuff. Some things you wouldn't even have to do that. She had the foresight and the motivation just to go in there and jump in there and do it anyway, to kind of watch your back on it. But you've probably got other people in your business that if your mom wasn't there, that you would still delegate to them, and you believe that you could give them stuff, or maybe even turn your back for a little bit, and they would still have your back. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, my mom, I was delegating to her mainly the sales, so listings and things that we had gotten together, basically. But Katie, who is my office manager, who handles everything else, basically, all the 80% junk, we give her everything basically to handle. So she handles contract to close. We trust her with handling client issues. She's very, very, very talented, but it didn't come. That's something I've had to work on, is learning to pass off things.
Right. So again, the gold nugget for everybody listening is that you want to trust people, and you want to empower them, and you want to give them opportunities to succeed, but the rainmaker's job is to kind of back in the shadow a little bit, to verify that the things are being done, and just kind of see it working out. And, if you see somebody taking advantage of you, you're not doing the job, or their work ethics in question, then you can take action on it. But it is a commonality among very, very successful members, and I'm talking guys that are making $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million a year selling real estate, is that they trust people that they hire. They give them opportunities to succeed. They understand that they may fail, but they're not hovering, they're not micromanaging, but they are verifying that things are being done. So if I can wish anything for all of the members listening, watching today's program, it is that you would find 1, 2, 3 really key people that you can trust, that you can lean on, that you can leverage, that will watch your back, have your back, and just take your business like it's their own, and want to be a part of it, see it grow, and see it mature, And so there is something to say for the leadership aspect of that. That's kind of like a magnet, like you're a magnet to attract those kind of people. So anyway, wanted to get that out.
Can I just add something to that, Todd?
Yeah, please.
One of the biggest things that I also learned is that when you hire someone, especially if it's a key role, someone that's going to be doing a lot of the tasks that you're going to be giving, I think they need to have a buy-in. They need to buy into the big goal of the team and the vision of the team. And of course, a lot of the administrative stuff, you need to do that through compensation. So like my two admin staff, they're compensated, they get bonus based on how many transactions we do that month and things like that. And I think that helps motivate them to not when the team grows, they're not complaining, they're excited about it, as well as if they have to work a little harder because we have more deals closing, that they're willing to do that because there's compensation that goes with it. So I think it's important for them to buy into like the big vision of the team.
Yep, and I don't think there's going to be too many people that that own something very, very productive where they don't at least extend some kind of ownership. I'm not talking ownership in the business as a principal owner, but they take ownership of whatever it is, the job that they're doing, primarily because of some higher level of compensation or buy-in or something like that. So it's very good.
Yep. And
that's really good advice, so everybody can pay close attention to that. Okay. So now if you're just joining us on the webinar, this is Sarah Reynolds. Sarah's a great Platinum Program member, new mom, somehow managed to make over $1 million in the last 12 months, taking several months off, to have a baby as well. So obviously somebody we want to pay close attention to and learn from. Okay, Sarah. Now the email that I'm showing on my screen that you sent me here actually tells a lot about you and your real estate business, right? Just the fact that I'm looking at your email the way it's laid out. So at the bottom of your email in your signature line, I see that you got a performance guarantee here that says your home sold in 79 days or less, guaranteed, or we'll sell it for free. So tell me a little bit about that performance guarantee, why it is that you decided that that's what you're going to lean on and leverage. That's the message that you want to present to your marketplace, at least in your emails. What's that all about?
Well, that is our main guarantee that we were doing when we first joined the program, and we're actually in the middle of transitioning out of that and going to the guaranteed sale program.
Now,
and
your home sold, you'll buy it?
Yeah, and so I actually really need to change my signature, so I'm just, because I don't pay attention to my signature every time I send an email, but looking at this, that's what stood out to me.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny because, and that's a great golden nugget for everybody watching today's webinar as well. And that is that, yes, the public pays attention to stuff that you do many times more than you do. So a rainmaking activity is to look at your business at every point of contact that your prospects will see it from, because it's really easy for us to get mired in the day-to-day operations of the business, even though we think we're doing a really good job of working on our business and we're paying close attention to numbers and other things. Many times we fail to see the simplest things. For example, at a recent workshop that I did, I went around and collected business cards from some of the coaching program members. And I think out of the 20 or so business cards I got, there were 3 business cards that actually made an offer or had a unique selling proposition on. And I looked at all the guys and I said, look, everybody's here in this workshop right now because you want more listings. That's why you showed up to listen to me talk to you. I said, but I look at the lowliest of lowly marketing systems that you have access to, which is your business card, and if you can't tell me on your business card why it is I should list my house with you over and above anybody else or any other options, you can't expect big things from your other stuff. Like all points of contact that you have with the public must be clear, clear why I should list my house with you, why I should buy a home from you, whatever it is the message that you want to convey. So yeah, so as a gold nugget, sometimes we forget about the simple things, the small things, because we're working on big things that we think will make a difference in our business. But it's really important. All right, so you like the 79 days or less guaranteed or we'll sell it for free, or is it just because you believe that when you say, hey, I'm going to buy your home if it doesn't sell, that's just better?
Well, actually, competition forced us to change it. So, see, in the oh, this is embarrassing, Todd. So obviously, the link is going to our guaranteed sale program. So, anyways, I like the 79 guarantee, and we did create a brand from that. But then we had some competition come in and undercut our days, and which forced us to, which I needed to be doing anyways, the guaranteed sale program, which then we started doing in the beginning of this year.
All right, so let's take a look at that then real fast, because part of the reason for this call too is for me to help you.
Yeah,
right.
I want your help.
All right, so here's what we have. Crap. All right, so hang on, let me go back to your email. Show my screen. Okay, so I'm going to show the screen real fast. All right. Now, I understand what you've done is that you've changed your performance guarantee on some of your marketing in places that you've done it, but you didn't change it on your email here.
Yeah.
Okay. But what's interesting is that the email is probably one of the first points of contact that real estate agents have with you. It's one of the first points of contact that you have with your new clients. And when you generate leads and somebody follows up with them, they send them an email, you know, they'll make judgments on you based on that. And I told you, is that when I get emails from Platinum members, I'm making judgments about them and their business, okay? Just on the way they do things, spell things out, the offers that are being made, and that sort of thing, okay? So now, this is a good call to action here, you know, to discuss the sale of your home, you know, what it says to discuss a sale. So clarity is the big deal for me, especially in today's marketplace. So if it were me, you just want to go a little further here and say to discuss the sale of your home, call Sarah.
Okay.
All right, that's a big deal. Or get a free special report that details, you know, this exclusive offer at homesoldforfree.com. Now, of course, when I click on the link, it doesn't tell me about this offer here.
Yep.
And you know, but I know you'll be making that adjustment today, so.
Yeah.
I would. That way you can stay consistent. Now, when I go to this landing page, it says your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. That's fine, but the form over here, you got my first name, last name, email, phone number, address. Is that because you're mailing me the report, or what's the deal here?
Because I thought because it had to deal with their house, so your home sold guaranteed or will buy it, then it
Okay, so all right, so I got you. All right, so look, if you're going to make that offer, your home sold, or I'm going to buy your house, okay, and the offer goes on to say, to discuss the sale of your home, you call me directly.
Yeah.
Or if you're not quite ready to talk to me, you can get a free special report that kind of details, you know, more about this guarantee, and you drive me to a landing page. The landing page that you want to use is this one here. All right, I'll throw up on the screen. Okay, and
okay.
And this is the landing page that Craig created back in the 90s. That is consistently outpulls the other landing pages. Now, even on this templated website that I'm using right here to show everybody, and I'm using this page for a good reason, is that there are some problems with it, so I'm going to walk you through them, okay? The banner's fine, but on the landing page itself over here on the left, it says, we'll buy your home for cash at a price acceptable to you. That's fine. You can do that. Or you could say, your home sold or I'll buy. Okay, whatever it is that you're saying in your marketing, you probably want to say that here as well, okay? Now, the other side of it is it says how to avoid getting stuck with two homes. Really what it should say free report reveals how to avoid getting stuck with two homes. Okay, because if you'll look right here, the ad says you can get a free report that details, you know, the inner workings or the details of this exclusive offer. Okay, so when I get here, it needs to tell me somewhere, you know, up in the first part of this landing page that I'm going to get a free report, or that I can get a report, or what the report spells out. But you can see this landing page, it doesn't even mention a free report until I read. All right? I got to read almost all the way down to the very bottom to see the mention of a report. So the assumption is being made is that I'm carrying with me that the reason I went to the landing page. And that's a bad assumption to make, is because when I get to the landing page and I start reading, with the distractions that go on in my own brain, there's a good chance that I would already forgot that. As a matter of fact, as my eyes wander, I'm looking over here to the right-hand side, and it's asking me for my address and to describe my house, which is a severe disconnect over and above me just wanting to get the report. All right.
Okay.
So anyway, so the headline should say, or the header should say, a repeat of whatever your ad is. Okay, your home sold, or we'll buy your home for cash, whatever.
Okay.
Right? The second line here is pretty clear. Free report reveals how to avoid getting stuck with 2 homes. And then, of course, it's telling me, and this is for the high Ds among us, high Ds and high Is, get free instant access by completing the form on this page. And you can see from this landing page right here when it says get free instant access by completing the form on this page, get free instant access to what? Because there's no mention of what that is, on the first 3 lines of this landing page. Not even in the banner of the website. Okay, so we want our marketing to look like we're talking to a 5th grader. All right. Now, let me back up a little bit and pause. Okay, you're doing very well. You're making over $1 million in real estate. But here's what I know about you. You want to make $3 million selling real estate. You're on a mission to get your business up to $1 million in net income.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay, well, the things that I'm mentioning to you right now will get you there. Being more clear in your marketing will make your marketing better, so that on every dollar that you spend, you pull out more business. And that's how it's done. We just get better at repeating the same message. A lot of people think that to sell more houses, I just have to run more ads, or I got to spend more money on marketing. And to a certain extent, that's true, but not to the extent that people think it is. For example, if I'm already making $1 million selling real estate, to double my business and go to $2 million does not require spending twice as much money and running twice as much marketing. It might, but most likely it won't. It just requires, let's just get better at the offers that we are making. And that's pretty much what this call is for. And you asked me for it, so I said, hey, Sarah, I got a better idea. Why don't we do it in front of the whole Platinum program? And I knew you wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So anyway, all right, so that's what you do. What's that?
One thing that I had noticed, so Craig used to do on the landing pages, he would ask if they're planning on making, for report number 1, plan on making a move in less than 6 months.
All right, it's a great point. It's a great question, and it should be there. Okay, so let's talk about the form over here. The whole form on this page is wrong. Okay, and before I tell you why it is, I'll just tell everybody it's wrong. Look, if I'm telling people that they can get free instant access to the report, again, free report reveals how to avoid getting stuck with 2 homes. So I've got to add in free report reveals right in here in this area. Okay. If I'm going to say free instant access to the report by completing the form on this page, there's no reason for me to ask for address and describe their home and all that other stuff, right? There's no reason to. All it does is junk up the form and mess things up for us, okay? Because if the prospect is asking the question of why or what's this for, then that's going to diminish them actually completing the form and following through with what it is we want them to follow through with. Okay, so technically this report should be, or this form should look kind of like yours does. And let me pull that back up. Here it is. To order your free report, please fill out the form and hit submit. Okay, well, you only need these first 2 things. You don't need their address, unless you're telling people that you're going to mail the report. Right? So if I go back to the landing page here on the templated site, okay, it's saying that they're going to get free instant access. So it's not even saying we're going to email it. It's just telling them it's going to pop right up. Okay, but I could get rid of that, and I could say to request your report, to request a free report to be mailed to you. Okay, complete the form on this page. Now, anytime I do that, the harder I make it for my prospect to receive information, like we're going to email you the report or we're going to mail you the report, that's going to diminish form submittals. So the reason it's free instant access is because, according to Steve Raitt at Success Website, they just discovered that more people fill out the form if it's free instant access versus we're going to mail it to you. But I may not be interested in more people filling out my forms. I may be just interested in higher quality leads or more quality leads. So it may actually pay to play around with an address and mailing the report versus instant access. But the answer is, I don't know. You're in Northwest, D.C. area. I'm in North Metro Atlanta area. A couple different cultures right there. A little more entrepreneurial stuff going on here versus people associated with the government where you are. So the culture is a little bit different, and which means that the language on the landing page might be a little bit different. So this is where I come in as the coach, and that's why these phone calls become pretty valuable. All right, so a lot of conversation just about the landing page and the form. But from a starting standpoint, it would be just the name, email, phone number. Like I don't even know, here we got, if you look on this form, oh, we got phone number and cell phone number. It's just a mistake. I mean, it's just wrong. Okay, so it's not a good template overall. The landing page copy's fine, but we don't mention the report in the first two lines. Okay, now, this website is not Craig Proctor's. It's Steve Raitt's. He's the owner of ConsoleNet Success Website. He's his own company. He's as independent from Craig as you can possibly imagine. Okay, yes, when Craig licensed his Quantum Leap materials to Steve's website company exclusively. He's the only website company that can technically use Craig Proctor's stuff, but it's still Steve's company. It's a different company. It's not Craig's. So Craig and I, we have to call up Success Website and Steve Raitt and say, hey, look it, you guys changed the landing page around a little bit too much here, and it's losing its effect on, the way the ads are structured and with the language and this sort of thing. So we have to kind of have those conversations on occasion as they roll out updates and new looks to their websites and stuff. So that's how these things come about, okay, is that it's an independent vendor. Craig does not have any ownership into the Success Website. If we did, then we wouldn't have as many of these kinds of things that happen. That's all. So, but the reverse of it is that we can customize things. We get to work with a vendor and we can kind of customize this. All right. You still there, sir?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I want to get that all out there. All right. So let's go back and let's pull up your email. Okay. So your home sold, guaranteed, or I'll buy it is what you're going to say. And to discuss the sale of your home would be something you'd want to change there. And free report, secondary offer, that's fine. You want to get to the landing page. You want to go with those appropriate changes that I mentioned to you.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. So let's look at this other offer you got here. Buy any home with the rentals team and love your home, or we'll sell it for free. Okay. Let's talk about this. We'll sell it for free for a minute because I know quite a bit of Platinum members are using this. All right. I remember one time back in the day, I told this guy, I said, I'll sell your home or I'll sell it for free. I forget the context. I forget it was a long time ago. I forget what happened. But he looked at me after I told him that, and he's like, I don't want to sell my home for free. I need to make some money on it. And it took me, it took me, it took me back for a minute because I had to think about what he was saying. I was like, oh, maybe that, so it stuck with me over these years, is that to a certain extent, there probably are people that are looking at your offer there, we'll sell it for free, and the first thing that pops in their mind is, well, I don't want to sell my house for, that doesn't make sense to me. I need to make money. All right, now, have you ever thought about that?
No.
All right. So So my recommendations for Platinum Program members is that whenever they write marketing that it's from or is outside of what Craig and I market and advertise, because you won't see any ads from me or from Craig Proctor that say we'll sell it for free. But when members go down the road and do that, understand that you want to write it like you're writing it for a fifth grader, someone who's really oblivious and clueless to what it is you do and how you do things. So it has to be clear and concise. Okay?
So what would you suggest?
Well, instead of selling it for free, they don't pay anything.
So at no
there's
cost.
no cost in it. You'll sell it at no cost.
Okay.
Absolutely no money out of their pocket to sell the house. So you have to re-articulate it a different way. My recommendation is to do what it is you said you're going to do at the beginning, which is I'll buy it back. Or, I'll sell your home or I'll buy it. That's what we recommend. I mean, we're pretty transparent on that. So when we deviate from that, we go down the road of other things, then, what requires me just putting on my marketing consultation hat and real estate coach and trainer and having to approach this thing and poke holes in it as best I can, and that just helps make the message a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay, now, we got to get to your other marketing stuff here, and I'm eating up some time on some of these other things. But, all right, tell us about your Facebook, social media. Is that anything that represents any transactions for you?
No, and I don't view it as that. I view it more for like creating validity in the market. So I think I'm not one to go on the social media bandwagon with a lot of what real estate's doing right now. But I do think that people will search for people, and I think you need to have have a page to create sort of validity for yourself, is the way I view it.
All right, so what you're telling me is that, in your opinion, is that to be successful in the marketplace, there must be a social presence?
I don't think no, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I think you can be very successful without it. I just think that for me,
look, I won't deny that there's been cultural changes. Like when Craig Proctor is making $4 million a year selling real estate in the 90s and early 2000s, there's not a whole lot of Facebook going on. Twitter,
yeah.
Instagram, and all these other things, right? And I didn't even have a Facebook page. And to this day, I've looked at the Facebook page I do have maybe a half a dozen times. Every now and then, Dana will come back here and say, hey, somebody posted something for you on your Facebook page. And most of the time I say, I don't want to see it. So I'm just not a big social media guy. And as a matter of fact, the most successful people that I know, business owners, outside of real estate industry that are worth $50 million to $100 million, they don't even know what stuff is. So I think it's all relative to maybe the business industry or just the world that we live in. I also get Platinum members that adamantly tell me that nobody reads the newspaper, in their marketplace and this sort of thing. So everybody's got their own opinions about things, but for the most part, I can't, well, put it this way, as of this webinar on this day in history, I've yet to see a Platinum Program member that can track sales that are worth tracking back to social media. Okay, so I still haven't seen anybody that's really figured out how to do really well and make a lot of money with Facebook, Twitter, and other social media.
And I agree with you.
Yeah. Hey, it's not to say that it's not going to happen and that there are people on this webinar right now that there probably are that have had some sales as a result of social media. It's just that my question is, how do you know?
Yeah, we have had sales from social media, but I mean maybe 2 or 3 that we can track directly from social media. But I have yet to see someone that has built a millionaire agent.
All right, well, not to put you on the spot about it, but how do you track it?
They've contacted us through social media. because
Okay.
they contacted us directly because of social media, and then they've said, like, we contacted you because of seeing your post on Facebook or whatever. Like, they've had to say that.
Okay, gotcha. All right, good. Yeah, tracking's a big deal. We probably won't have time to get it. All right, so let's take a look then at a few things because you wanted to look at some of this stuff. All right, first thing is this. Let's talk about this just sold card. All right, now here's the front page of it. Your home sold guaranteed, or Debbie and Sarah will buy it. Okay. To discuss the sale, please call us. So probably what I would do here is that I would try to maybe take this this artwork here on your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it, and I'd inch it a little bit closer to your images, your pictures, and I would take this over here, which is your call to action, and I would blow it up as freaking big as I could get it because you've got your offer here, your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it, pretty big. But then we kind of reduce the font size when it comes to the call to action.
Okay.
All right. Now, understand these are two different offers that you're making me here in terms of the call to action. Okay. First of all, it should say to discuss the sale of your home.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to say please. You can just say to discuss the sale of your home, call Sarah at 703-436-2933.
Okay.
All right. And then you can give me the other option, which is, or get a free special report that details this exclusive guarantee at www.reynoldsguarantee.info. And then when I go to reynoldsguarantee.info, it lands me on that catch-22, how to avoid getting stuck with two homes page.
Okay.
Offer me the free. All right. Now, on the front page of this card, you're making me a different offer here, which is a home evaluation. For a free evaluation of the value of your home visit. Okay, and you tell me, is that offer working for you on this card?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten 2 listing appointments from it this week.
From this offer here of whatisyourhomesvalue.com?
One was just a direct call. And then the other was they went to whatisyourhomesvalue.com.
Okay. All right. So if it were me, then what I would do is I would be a little more clearer with my offer, where it says free evaluation of the value of your home. So you tell me, what is it that I'm going to get from you on this landing page, or if I call you? What that you're really offering me? What does that mean? Evaluation of the value of my home.
That will tell you what it's worth.
And why would I want to know what it's worth?
If you were considering selling.
You mean what I can sell it for?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then probably that's what you're saying here. All right. Is, for example, to find out how much you can sell your home for and how long it will take, which I'm guessing is what an evaluation is. As a matter of fact, we have, let's see if I can find it here. You can check this page out. How long will it take to sell your home? Find out what your home is worth and how long it will take to free home evaluation and selling time analysis. You see that?
I've never seen this before.
So if it were me, and you're going to make that offer on this card, you may want to consider just improving the offer a little bit. It's just not that good.
Okay.
Your home might be worth more than you think. That's okay. To find out how much you can sell your home for and how long it will take, visit www.whatever.com. Okay.
Okay.
And having the option here to call you directly is fine. It's a branding card.
Okay.
If you're going to make that offer on the card. Okay, so let's look at the back page. Record prices for Aldi and Stone Ridge. Sold in 1 week, sold over the asking price. Who sold these houses?
We did.
Okay. You probably want to tell people that. Now, let me use my little story analogy for you. Now, obviously, when you do over 5,000 real estate transactions like I did, or my team and I did, obviously I was involved in a lot, personally. Hands-on, I'm the guy sitting in the kitchen, all right, talking to the seller. Well, there were many times, more than I could count, while I'm sitting there at the kitchen table with the homeowner. I remember looking around, especially at the refrigerator, and I can't tell you the number of times I would see on the refrigerator calendars and other stuff from real estate agents. Not me, but other agents. But I'm the one there talking to the seller, listing their house. And so at one point in my career, I remember asking some people, why they called me over and above the agent whose stuff they had on the refrigerator. And on the refrigerator in one house, I remember specifically, were just sold cards that were basically announcing that a property had sold. But the cards weren't specific on that was the agent that sold the house. So the sellers even were taken back by why I was asking, hey, why'd you call me? Why didn't you call those people? And they would look at me and say, well, aren't you the guy that does the best job and sells the most homes and has the most buyers? And I'm like, yeah. I'm just wondering, why you didn't call them. Well, why would we call them? So they were so clueless as to the fact that the agent who's on their refrigerator actually sold the homes that they were announcing sold. Now, at least you get into some testimonials and some things like that, here on the card. And I'm seeing that right here, but it does blend in a little bit. But the fact of the matter is never make an announcement that a property is sold without being very, very clear that you were the one that sold it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the first assumption that homeowners make is that when an agent lists a house, it sells. Okay, so selling a house or just sold is not a big deal. That's just not a special event in somebody's mind. The real story is in what you're saying here is that you sold. Okay, in other words, it would be Sarah sold this house in 7 days for 100% of the asking price. That's the story. The days on market and the sales price to list price ratio, and that you were the one that made it happen. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the big deal on these. So as a matter of fact, let me pull up here okay, on my screen, I've got, this is materials that I've been throwing together in a file folder for Ruth, for everybody at the upcoming conference, for the Platinum Conference. But I got something in here. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Here's a good example of what I was talking about. I'm going to reduce the size of it, get it all on one page. Here's one side of the card. Your home sold in 60 days. Your price guaranteed. I'll pay you $3,000. To discuss the sale of your home, call Ira. Okay. So Ira sends me this card, and I'm looking at it. It says sold. And I said, Ira, on the front of the card, you say that you sold the house. Okay, here's the front of the card. On the front of the card, you tell them you sold it. Okay. That's great. But on the back of the card, don't lose that. You say sold. Dude, I'm telling you, you have to say you sold it, for how much, and whenever you use the word we sold something or sold, just make sure you're telling the real story. You sold it, sales price to list price ratio, and days on market. Okay, that's a big, big deal for me. Clarity in every aspect of your marketing. Now, with that, Sarah, today, 10 years ago, we didn't have to be as clear about anything. Because we just didn't have a whole lot of competition. And the marketplace was pretty hot, and there just weren't a lot of issues. We could say things like, your home sold, or I'll buy it, 770-355-8010, www.toddwalters.com, and we sold a lot of houses, and it's just all great. Okay, but now in today's marketplace, there's more competition, there's a heightened level of skepticism, The marketplace has been through some pretty rough times in the United States. So clarity in the marketing becomes a bigger deal right now than it has before. So, but anyway, that was the big thing I wanted to tell you on your card there, is that you want to tell people that you sold the home. Don't assume anything.
Okay.
Right. And wherever you are, so shall be your unique selling proposition. Okay, whatever that is. So let's go back. Yeah, we'll go back and look at that. Okay, so it's on here. Your home sold, guaranteed, or we'll buy it. I do the same thing. I'd slide this. I'd slide that over closer to your pictures down here on the bottom, if that's what you want to do, and then change this just a hair so it says, to discuss the sale of your home, call Sarah at this number, and then make your secondary offer, which is to get a free report that details that exclusive offer. And if you're going to go with this down here, I think the consistency should be maintained. Here's what I mean by that. You're telling me that you not only you sold the house, that's not news, but you sold it in a short period of time and you sold it for a specific amount of money.
Yeah.
Okay? So the offer down here is to find out how much your home will sell for and how long it will take. Call me. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So now what you got is you got a consistent message, theme, and offer, and social proof, all in one card here. So I think your card gets better if you do that.
Okay. And so we just also...
Hold on. Another big mistake is that you're alluding to that you're no different than the other agents, or what you do is no different, or that other real estate agents are having great success selling houses for great prices too, with your headline there on the card. Don't do that.
Okay.
Okay. The story is that you're selling homes for record prices. You're selling homes for more than the asking price. You're getting more money for your clients over and above the other agents in the area.
Okay.
All right. I'm just telling you, anytime there's an announcement of, hey, good news, homes are selling at all-time highs, well, all that's telling me to do is to call the agent that sold the house across the street from me, or the one that my friend at church told me to call, versus you.
Okay.
Sometimes, I mean, it's not always the case, but we don't want to build up our competition.
Yeah.
All right. So you were going to say something, and I interrupted you.
Well, so we used to do this on black background, and I guess you and Carrie had a discussion about color, like that actually gets the least. Having the black background isn't good, or that was my understanding. So we switched it, and I did get a little bit more of a response. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that.
Color's a big deal. There are just studies that show that blue and shades of blue, just more eye appealing. You know, something about it. I mean, it just does better. That's why you see politicians in blue suits all the freaking time.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, to find out how much you can sell your home for and how long it will take is a better offer.
Okay.
All right, good. All right, so that should help you there. And I guess the landing page, let me go back to that. Here's a landing page. If you go to the bottom of your success website under sellers, there's a link down there that says when will it sell? And it combines what it's going to sell for and how long it will take.
Okay.
It is underutilized, that landing page, but I can't think of a better landing page to use as an option when we're using testimonials on, hey, we're selling homes for this amount of money and in this length of time, which is superior to the other agents in the market. It's a better landing page to use. I'm glad you agree. All right, let's go back to your email. Okay, so let's talk about this sold rider, and then we'll look at the newsletter. So you sell a house. You've got some homeowners that are saying, "Hey, we want you to tell everybody my home's sold, under contract or whatever." Is that right?
Yep.
But is this a real issue or no? It's just a few people.
It's just been a few people recently.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you if you want to put a sold sign on it. This one right here says sold, but you kind of, it makes an offer, where you can get additional information on other homes like this, and that may be okay. I kind of like, I'm not a big text guy or info line person with that on my for sale sign, but after the property's under contract, if I'm going to tell people that sold, then it only makes sense to make an offer associated with that. Like, hey, you can get a list of, other homes, similar to this one, is then also a similar offer that you can make. The problem with this sign is just really small. I've seen the font on these things, and I'm not sure I can read it from my car without my glasses on. So, just a little pet peeve of mine. But yes, you asked me that in the pre-conference. What did Craig do? What did I do?
Yeah.
Well, I did what Craig did. So let's make sure we're clear on it. I just don't recall seeing sold signs on Craig's listings ever. But on occasion, he had them because we had conversations about it. And he just didn't run around putting it in his marketing materials like this, because the preference was not to interrupt what we'd been getting, which was a lot of sign calls. So anytime we tell someone that the property is no longer available, you are going to diminish or cut down on the sign calls that you're getting. Even if you say, hey, you can get a list of more homes like this,
yeah,
you're still going to get less calls. So my thing to you was, if a seller says, hey, can you put a sold sign or an under contract sign out there in my house? My response was like this, to basically role play it out. My response was, I could, but I would prefer not to, and here's why. You see, we're going to generate a lot of calls from the for sale sign. People are going to call because of our unique signage and the way that we do things, the offers that we make. We just get more calls. And so we'd like to continue to get those buyer calls for a couple of reasons. Number one is that we put them in our homeowner service, our buyer profile system. And then every day, every week, every month, these buyers, they get notifications of homes that we have available. So remember now, you hired me because we have more buyers. So if all of the sellers before you had demanded or made a condition of us doing business together, that when the home went under contract, that I had to put a sold sign out there, an under contract sign, by the time you and I hook up, it would definitely impact your sale because we would have less buyers. So that's one reason I prefer not to do it. The other reason is in case something happens here. This buyer, on the way to the closing, he gets plucked from the planet. God forbid. Or they change their mind. There's any number of things could happen. And so those are two reasons I'd probably say it's not a good idea. Anyway, that's the conversation I had with them, and it would pretty much go away. But on occasion, we would still have to put a sold sign out there, for whatever reason there was, but it was very, very few. It was not a consistent or regular occurrence in my real estate business, but it wasn't in cracks, and that was the conversation that we would have. Cool. So it's up to you.
Yeah, no, that's good.
All right. So let's take a look then at your newsletter. Tell me about this. What is the deal with this newsletter?
What is the deal?
Yeah. What is it for? Who do you send it to? Why do you do it?
It's for a geographic area. We had started doing it actually before ever joining the chiropractor program, so we've been doing it for years now. And we were already getting business from it when we joined, and so they had said to keep doing what you're doing that you're getting business from, which we continue to do. But then we just changed it to be more to have our unique selling proposition and some things that you have mentioned to me in the past And then, of course, now we get better results. In the last 12 months, we've sold like either from buyer or sell about 40 houses from this marketing piece.
All right, so this is a kind of a farming tool, would that be it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so you've got a geographic area of houses, and every month you publish this newsletter and you send it, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so your big question is, hey, what can we do to make it better? And my response was, well, since it's a branded newsletter, let me find the zoom in button here. Blow that up for everybody. Same things apply. Wherever I see your face, I want to see your performance guarantee and a really good call to action. So I would take this image and move it over to your pictures a little bit more, squeeze it over there. This way you can make this call to action a little more, a little bolder.
Okay.
To discuss the sale of your home. Matter of fact, you can even take this this little image here on top called the Reynolds team. Probably put that right underneath your photo here. All right, and then you've got even more space you can use to really highlight what it is you want me to do.
Okay.
To discuss the sale of your home, call Sarah at this number, and you're good there. So, all right, Aldi and Stone Ridge Real Estate Market Watch. Okay, you probably should, if you want, you can throw in a URL in here somewhere, www.aldiandstoneridgerealestate.com. Drive them to one of your websites, probably your unbranded page.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Now you decided to lead with an editorial ad. Sounds great to me.
Yeah, we try to do an editorial on the front page.
Yeah. 27 quick and easy fix-ups to sell your home faster for top dollar. It's a good editorial ad. Okay. Probably what I would do is I would ditch the maybe this information over here, this bullet point, and may even put another ad there. Since
okay.
The first page may be all that they see. I'm not so sure your this information here that I'm reading down through here. The big story is 25 plus years of experience. Average realtor sells. I don't know. I think you could probably do a little bit better with your stats. So if you want to use this area here, I would use it with better marketing. So for me, it would either be an ad or I would highlight your stats a little bit better. Let me give you an example of what I mean. See if this is it. Here we go. See this ad here on your page? Can you see it?
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so Nathan took my advice and he highlighted 3 big reasons to call Nathan to sell your house. Okay, number 1 is we get you more money. Okay. Number 2 is we sell your home faster. And number 3 is because we sell more homes, we can do more to get yours sold. And you use some graphs and stuff to kind of make that live. So if it were me, I'm trying to improve your newsletter. I'm going to pull it back up here. That's what I'm going to do right there. 3 big reasons to call Sarah and Debbie to sell your house.
Okay.
Number 1, we get you more money. Number 2, we sell your home faster. And number 3, you got a choice there. Either it's more likely to sell, or because we sell more homes, we can do more for you.
Okay.
Nice, so that'll improve it there. All right, so let's look at page 2. And now, first of all, this is a 4-page deal, right?
Yeah,
Page
so it's like
1, page 2, okay. So it's just a fold. You got a front, inside, back.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let me see if I can get that onto one page here. And I'm just kind of looking at it here, just perusing over it. There we go. Blow it up a little, dumb it down just a little bit. It's going to be harder for everyone to read, but I can read it okay, and then I'll blow it back up. So you've got one offer on this page primarily, and that's find out what homes in your neighborhood are selling for.
Yeah, so we used to do the list of all recent sales. And you
Yeah,
told
I
us.
get that. That's really smart, and that's a great point. So, not to interrupt you, but I want to make sure nobody misses that. Is that in a lot of real estate agents' stuff, they list out all of the homes that have sold in the previous month by address.
Yep.
And I'm like, look, don't do that. Just list. Here's the most expensive home that sold. Here's the least expensive home that sold in the area. So if you want a list of what the homes are selling for in your neighborhood or what they're selling for down the street, here's what you do now. And that's what you've done here, to an extent. I still think you can make that ad a little bit older.
Okay.
There's not much I can say about that. I mean, it's okay. You know, this is the big story on this page is the find out what homes in your neighborhood are selling for. You may could even throw in another display ad on this page, like find out what your home is worth online.
Okay.
I don't even know I don't even see that anywhere on the newsletter at all. Except on your last page. Your last page is, I found it on your last page. Okay. It might be worth repeating there.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at the next page. Revealed. For your point of view, 7 costly mistakes to avoid before selling your home. Before you list your home, sell your home in 24 hours to one of our buyers. That's probably a good opportunity to repeat the guaranteed sale program offer, but in a different way, like guaranteed acceptable offer on your home in 24 hours or guaranteed cash offer on your home within 24 hours.
Okay.
Then this is a big deal. You want to tell me specifically how many buyers you have in your database.
Okay.
Okay, you talk about buyers here, you talk about buyers in waiting, advantage, and all that kind of stuff, but go ahead and be more specific. You've got 343 buyers in your database looking for a home in the area.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. Now the other thing too that I don't like about this ad, I'm gonna blow it up so everybody can see here, everybody straining their eyes. Right here. Is I want you to look at this page. It's just a pet peeve of mine because I'm really big on this clarity thing in the marketplace. I'm able to get more out of a member's dollar just by being more clear on their marketing. All right? Use the word our, use the word we, use the word call us, and all these kinds of things, but the assumption that you're making is that people know it's you, they remember you, they know who you are, because you're on the front page and they get this every month. And it's just not a good assumption to me. So I think you always want to be specific on, like guarantee cash offer your home within 24 hours or I'll buy it for cash. Somewhere on here, I'm going to have my picture. That anytime I'm making a guarantee, I'm going to have my photo. I'm going to have my name. So if I'm going to use words like we, our, us, and stuff like that, the association is going to be clear.
Okay.
It's not going to be 2 pages before. It's going to be right there beside it, always. And that's good because that's what ultimately you're trying to do is to build top-of-mind awareness around you anyway. But I got to go to the page or I got to go to the last page to see your name in this whole newsletter.
Okay.
Don't do that. Wherever you're making a guarantee or performance guarantee, it should see your name and it should see your photo. All right. So let's look at the back page. Okay, so same things we already talked about. Let me get down here a little bit so everybody can see the full scope of the page. That's what the whole thing looks like. Then we'll blow it back up so we can read it. exclude for private listing, not in the MLS. I don't know if the buyers really know what that means. And so you probably could say, beat out other buyers to this, awesome home.
Okay.
Before it gets listed. I wouldn't even assume that people know what the friggin' MLS is.
Okay.
But if I went around my neighborhood, and I'm in a pretty well-off neighborhood, people in their second, third houses, and I just asked my neighbors, hey, do you know what the MLS is? What's MLS mean to you? Shit. I don't know what that is. I mean, that's 9 people, and maybe 1 or 2 of them would make a good guess. So we have to be really careful in our marketing of using our industry language. So I always use my doctor analogy for that. You've heard me do that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like the doctor says, hey, you've got a torn lateral meniscus. Well, I'm guessing since my knee hurts that it has something to do with my knee. So anyway, you got to use language that people understand. All right. The other thing too is when you're running an ad like this ad here, you can save a little space in your ad, Sarah, by putting the price up in the photo as a banner. It's up to you. And I would never, let me repeat, I would never run an ad on any kind of property without telling them what to do now. So remember the marketing formula, okay? Here's what I got for you. Here's what it'll do for you, and here's what I want you to do now. So this box right here of this particular home, this gorgeous equestrian estate, it's an ad. So this individual house is an ad. When you make me take my eyes off of this ad and go searching for your phone number, which blends in a lot of places, then I get distracted, and I'm looking at a different house now or a different ad. So make sure there's a call to action on it.
Okay.
And do some things, too, to make your phone number stand out here. Like you've got to discuss the sale of your home, call Debbie or Sarah, 703-436-2933.
Mm-hmm.
Put that sucker in, big blue letters or, red ink or something like that. Like you do it down here in the classified ad.
Okay.
Down here, for example. All right. Now tell me about your information lines. Get any calls on them?
Some.
Okay. The information lines require a lot of work.
Yeah.
So for reference, while I've got everybody's attention, I'm going to go back to the coaching site. We'll go to Platinum Lead Generation in the file library, file library, Platinum Lead Generation. And out to the right, ID number 1306, Platinum Ultimate USP Hotline Scripts. So some pretty good scripts in there. I don't know if you've got those or not, Sarah, but you should be getting about 15% of everyone that calls your information line to leave a message.
What percentage?
15.
Okay.
If that's not happening, then there's some disconnection with your scripting.
Okay.
So it'll take some work to get that. And that's about, I've seen some people upwards of 20% on property ads. That's huge. That's a high number. That means you're advertising real high demand properties and we're not scaring them away with our script. We're compelling them to leave a message to want more. But these scripts are pretty good. They've been tested over the years. All right. And then you've got a couple of display ads here in this ad. So overall, it's a pretty good newsletter. Let me show you one that I've highlighted here that I help some members with. See if I can find it. Give me 1 second here. Tell me I can find it quick. May have spoke too soon. It's right here in front of me. Here it is, Farm Newsletter. Check this newsletter out. put this one in the file for the conference, but you can see that it's a newsletter, Fletcher's Creek Village Real Estate News. It kind of looks like the newspaper that we did with Discover, but
Yeah.
it's a newsletter. Editorial ad on the left, editorial ad down at the bottom on the right, some shock value article in the middle. Let's go to page 2. Some filler about freshen up the fall, distress sell ad. Another little shock value article. It's Evelyn and May's newsletter, by the way. And let's see what else we got. Staging article on page 3. Another offer, editorial ad. And then on page 4, and they've got a USP ad going on here. And find out what homes in Fletcher Creek Village are selling for, or whatever. Find out what your home's worth online. So it's a 4-page newsletter. It's pretty good. Similar to yours, a little more, I'm not going to say unbranded because it's not, but they basically produced this Fletcher's Creek Village Real Estate News, and and you can see they got 2 ads on the front. Your newsletter's a little different, but we're going to be talking about both at the upcoming conference.
Nice.
So anyway, let me pull yours back up here. Hopefully the stuff that I shared with you, at least my ideas for what might make it better, it will. Especially if it's representing 40 sales now. Heck, if we can get up to 50 sales and the same amount of money, you've done pretty darn good.
Yeah, every time I have you look at it and you give notes, I get better results. So
good. Well, you should continue here, but what makes it really, really good it's the marketing itself. And people have to read it. Make sure this headline right here, 27 quick and easy fix-ups. I don't know what kind of font that is, New Courier New or something like that, but the font down here, which is actually a smaller font, actually stands out more than your header does.
yeah,
So
you're right.
I've come up with a different font there to make it a little bolder, make it stand out more. Just blends in a little bit too much. But outside of that, pretty good job.
Thank you.
So let's get Andrea on here. Andrea, I see there may be a hand or two raised with a question or two. Do we have time for some questions? Andrea? Yo, Andrea. Hello. Sarah, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Andrea may have had to vote because I think we were up against the time frame of another webinar, but let me see what I've got here. All right, I got some questions from some members. I'm going to read them. Just sold cards. How many cards do you send out, Sarah? Tell me how you send your just sold cards out and who you send them to.
So we base it on communities. So if we sell a single-family home in a community, we send it to all the single-family homes in that community. If we sell a townhome, we send it to all the townhomes. In this home, we had sold both a townhome and a single, so it went to the entire community.
Okay, don't ignore the seller prospects in your database either.
Yeah, I need to do that more. Thank you for saying that.
Or the expired listings and for sale by owners that may be in the area.
Yep.
In other words, the people that are most likely to sell versus an area of people that you don't know if they're going to make a move or not. So I'm not saying don't send it to the geographic area because you're obviously doing some self-promotion, and there will be a few of those people that are considering making a move at any given time, but I definitely wouldn't ignore the ones that you know are going to make a move with a card like that, so if that helps out. All right, what about the newsletters? How many do you send out a month?
It's to a small zip code, but it's about 4,000.
Okay, 4,000 a month. It's generated you 40 or so sales over the last year. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
a lot of move-ups, which have been awesome.
Yeah, it's double transactions. All right, how do you distribute the newsletter? Mail, email, or any other methods?
Mail, and we do every door direct. and we also post it to our Facebook fan page.
Okay. All right, so for the record here, just so everybody understands, the three things that we looked at today, they don't represent your entire marketing system. Can you list for me your measurable marketing systems that you have in your business? Just name them.
Yeah. Right now?
Mm-hmm.
This newsletter, the Just Sold postcard, obviously signage is huge. The newspaper, the Discover newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I feel like I forget. Like a HGX, which is Successes Commission, like basically like a
Or you like paper, or is that a pay-per-click marketing system or something?
Yep. Those are our main ones.
Okay, so that's 5 marketing systems.
Yep.
All right, excellent. All right, so let's see if I have another question for you here. Regarding the newspapers and magazines, I'm running an editorial on the 11 home inspection traps. Been getting about 20 calls every time the ad runs, about 9 to 10 messages left per day. Cost of the ad is $300. And that's a pretty good response from Osmini telling us that. Now, are you running any editorial ads outside of your newspaper or newsletter?
I'm not.
Okay. The problem with editorial ads is that the majority of the leads are future business, so they require follow-up, which means that we've got to be really good at follow-up. So we've got to schedule a call in half the time that they say, and make sure we're following up with them on a monthly basis. At the upcoming conference, we're going to be dealing with some really good follow-up about that.
Good, yeah, because that's what we talked about on our last one-on-one, and something I know that I need more help with.
Jay's making fun of me on my Twitter account. We won't talk about that. All righty. So it looks like that's about all the questions I think that were relevant at the moment. Let me see if I'm missing any, because I know we're about out of time. Okay, how many months did it take for you, Sarah, to start getting results from the newsletter?
That's a really good question.
Yep.
It took, well, again, I started doing it before joining the program, so I think that the people that are listening are going to have a much better result, but it took 6 months before getting our first listing. We sold their townhouse and they ended up buying a home, so it actually paid for the entire marketing piece for the year. So it was worth it right there, but, and then once we got our first one, it just sort of snowballed. But I think that with Todd's help, anyone that would be doing something like this could get a much faster result, but it did take us 6 months to get our first one.
Yeah, so it's all relevant depending on the offer. So yeah, I agree with you that we don't really want anything to take 6 months. It can be more immediate if it all depends on the offers. So I think you said since we've connected up and made some improvements to the newsletter, you've got quite a more response than you were getting.
Yeah, but I do think obviously consistency is really important. So.
Sweet. Okay, one more. Todd, we get some sign calls leading to appointments when other sellers see our sold sign. Is there a way to maximize program if sold signs are used? Okay, so if I was going to promote anything having to do with my signs, I just don't like messing with my for sale sign. It's too good. Generates a boatload of calls. I don't want to disrupt that. So I would use a secondary sign. So I would just pop a secondary sign right next to my for sale sign in the yard. And there I'd run my commercial. Sold, or I've got a lot of buyers left over, or I'll buy your home if it doesn't sell, or whatever offer I want to make on the secondary sign. That's what I would do. All right, so with that, that's going to eat up about all the time that we get. So Sarah, look. Congratulations on a fantastic year, great success. Congratulations on being a new mom. You're just a wonderful lady, great marketer, fantastic real estate agent, and I'm sure you'll be an even better mom.
Oh, well, I appreciate you and Craig's help because I couldn't have done it without you guys. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. We're definitely having a good time. So with that, if we got any other questions we didn't get to, you're more than welcome to email them over to tw@toddwalters.com, and we'll take a look at that. Otherwise, Sarah, when you make the changes on your marketing materials there, anything that we discussed today, just send them on over to me.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll check it out. I'll mystery shop it and go sell some houses.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Sarah. Okay, now, bye-bye.
The organizer has